Welcome back to another installment of Cafe Lily. Yeah, with your hosts, Rosa and Kelsey.
Thank you, Rosa. How are you doing? Are you hanging in there?
No!
Oh no. Well, we have no choice. This is a Precure news update. For anyone who doesn't know, the trailer for Otona Precure came out a couple of days ago. Saki and Mai appeared in it, and...
Minions, I have bad news! Only Saki is wearing a ring!
Yep, that's what's got all 5 Splash Star fans talking.
You say all 5, but the reality is there was more. And now Toei is going to have to deal with the aftermath of, oh, wow, these people, there were actually more people that loved this season than we thought. It's just really devastating to see that, like, come on. Can't, like, do Saki dirty like that. Can't do Splash Star dirty like that. Can't do this to another Mai. Respect to Mai for Nature Joe. That girl followed that idiot around and she just marries a nothing guy. But, like, yeah.
They can't do this to you personally.
It attacked me personally, yeah.
Because the thing about it is, if this were Nagisa and Honoka, and they showed up, and Nagisa was wearing a ring, there would be people protesting the Toei building right now.
Oh, for real. We know the worst case scenarios. If it's like Kenta, then how could they? How could they to Yuko?
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense, because they established in the show that that's not the pairing they wanted to go with.
And like, it's kind of just like, nah, in reality, it's like, no, they're just friends. Now, Yuko and Kenta, they have a good chemistry going on, and like, look at Yuko, it actually did a lot for her character. It ended up helping her stick out. The best case scenario that is saddening, Saki is married to a woman, but it's not mine.
I would almost respect that, because then it's like, you know, maybe they dated for a bit and they decided it didn't work out and they stayed friends. Like, that would still be positive.
They have to be positive, but like, kind of sad. It's like, they were such an iconic pairing, but like, it just didn't work out for them in that way. I think if that is a scenario, I think it'll be interesting if it was like one of the Among Us twins, Karu.
That would be so funny.
Yeah, it would make sense. You know, she got along with the sister, she got a good in with the family, and they both had big foreheads.
Yep.
Tragic. Shameful.
This is the path of a Yuri fan. We face a lot of disappointment.
That's true. Yeah, you know, Splasher's kind of just been done dirty, and this is like an even dirtier way to do it.
Yeah, I think it's very telling that the Yes 5 girls appear to have all lost contact with each other over the years, but Saki and Mai are still meeting up with each other for regular bar nights.
Yeah, it says a lot. Though, interesting enough, I gotta say, the one with Milk and Karan scene is like, oh, what's going on there?
Yeah, something's going on with those two.
Like, I heard a lot goes on with those two.
Yep, that was a very popular pairing back in the day when there weren't many other options.
Yeah. Now, hold on. Let me cry for like 5 seconds before we go on to the next subject. So, Kelsey, are you ready to talk about a Yuri that won't disappoint?
Yes.
Yeah.
On to something more positive. Let's talk about She Loves to Cook and She Loves to Eat.
Yeah! I wanted to read it physically, so I only read the first chapter online. But I gotta say, amazing first impression.
So She Loves to Cook and She Loves to Eat by Sakaomi Yuzaki is about Nomoto, who is a young woman living alone, and she is the titular woman who loves to cook.
Mm-hmm.
She cooks her own meals and has a social media account to post pictures of her cooking. And then one day she meets her neighbor from 2 doors down, Kasuga, who is the woman who loves to eat. And they don't know each other, but one day Nomoto cooks too much food and just decides to put herself out there. She goes and knocks on her door and says, "Hey, have you eaten yet? Would you like to try my cooking?" And it begins a beautiful friendship between the two women bonding over food, which slowly develops into Nomoto having a crush on Kasuga.
Ooh. I gotta say, when I read that first chapter, I was floored.
Yeah.
Like, I respect Noto. Her reaction to, like, a guy coming in telling her, "Oh, this is really cool, He, like, sits down, it's like, you're bothering her? And he's like, goes on and on, it's like, "Oh, a husband could love this, if you were a mother, your kids will love this." It's like, and you look at that disgusted face in her, it's like, ugh. And it's like, yeah, girl, I agree. Like, ugh.
Yeah, that's something that's really interesting about this series. There's a lot of social commentary. Well, maybe saying a lot is overselling it, but the characters experience prejudice, and there's a recurring theme that the men in Nomoto and Kasuga's lives can only understand a woman doing something for a man's benefit.
This is definitely a book made for, like, specifically lesbians like me.
Did you see that part? I don't remember if it was in the first chapter or not, but there's a part where Nomoto compares what she does to making dojinshi.
Oh no, I didn't see that, but that sounds beautiful. All I know is she was angry, and that's why she bought so much of, like, that premium meat. I saw that, like, damn, that looks delicious. And she knew that Kasuga was, like, a big eater, because, like, she saw her come home with all that chicken. This woman definitely knows how to eat.
Yeah, she really found the one.
It's such a beautiful dynamic that was being proposed in that first chapter. It's like, God, I definitely need to own this physically.
I really recommend the print versions as well, because they have these beautiful sections in the back that have graphics and explanations of every Japanese food concept that an English-speaking reader might not get. And I think that's a really nice touch. I love bonuses like that.
It's such a... If you love food, like, I love food. As of this time, I am going to see Soup tomorrow, and we're gonna have some amazing curry.
Oh, enjoy.
Yeah, it's gonna be really spicy, because we also bet that we're gonna, like, have a spicy eating contest. So, wish us luck. But yeah, no, it is a beautiful book, a beautiful manga, worth the read, worth supporting.
Yeah, it's great, it's adorable. I understand why this is such a beloved series. It's always a treat when something is really highly recommended and then you read it and it's actually that good.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I heard that the author had done something. I don't remember the details, but it was like the author had drawn the characters speaking in support of marriage equality or something.
Oh, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, I don't remember the details, but I remember seeing that at the time and thinking that I wasn't really sure what was going on there. But after reading some of it, I understand now, and it makes sense. I think this author is someone that genuinely cares about social issues.
It's definitely worth a read, especially with, like, what it wants to put out, what it wants to say. It definitely cares strongly. So yeah.
Yeah, we both recommend this.
Yeah.
I haven't read the ending. I don't think the final volume is out in English yet, or maybe it's just not available here. I don't know. But I'm gonna read it when it comes out, and I recommend the first two.
Alright, so I got 2 surprise Yuris.
2?
Yep.
Well, what's the first one?
Let me go in order of what I read. The first one I read is called Suito-to by author Okino Yui. It is a manga about this college student named Mose. And she has a secret. Now at school, she's seen as a perky girl that loves sweets. But reality is, she does not like sweets.
What?
Yeah.
What a scandal.
Yeah, she only ever said that just to keep up a reputation. She is really the appreciator of savory foods.
Gotta respect that.
And she's only able to go have this outlet through another woman she meets. Her name is Shimizu. Now, they met in random one day. Momoso felt really hungry, so she stopped by a ramen spot. When she ordered a big bowl and started eating, scarfing it down, and she looks to her side and she sees her. She's a Mizu. And from there, they decided to keep it a secret that they go out on certain days to eat fatty and rich meals. And it's just wonderful. It's a fun time, and just seeing them enjoy the food. And it's kind of funny because it's a bit of a joke that Momoso is acting in contrary to her reputation, to her appearance, to her personality, by just eating all this food, this fatty, rich, and large portion food. Especially with her favorite being garlicky kind of stuff. And it's just a developing relationship through their love of food. And it's beautiful. And it's also wonderful to see what kind of meals they're eating, how they're eating it, how it's being prepared, how they're combining it, how they're eating such large portions. And the tradition they do is just tie up their hair and go at it.
That's cute.
It's great. Yeah. I recommend it. It's a fun read.
That does sound nice.
And now for my second one. I have read the first 3 chapters of Doughnuts in the Crescent Moon.
Oh.
By Shio Usui. This is about an office lady named Uno Hinako. When you first see her, she's lamenting. She's sad, depressed. She's trying to fix her appearance a bit to go on dates, or at least try to appeal to a guy or whatever. And she's dealing with a lot of interpersonal issues on her own self. She says she can't love herself.
Oh.
And she says she feels like people shouldn't love her, or why does she even bother trying to go out if she doesn't feel like she deserves that love. But eventually one night on her way home, she just breaks down and starts crying.
Oh no.
And it's sad. And it wasn't until one of her co-workers, 5 years her senior, her name is Ase Sato. She comes to her with a donut and says, "Hey, you're doing alright?" It's like, "Oh my gosh, boss." They had an earlier encounter where Sato goes to her and told her, "Hey, you kind of forgot to do some of the stuff in this paperwork. Don't worry, I fix it." And this kind of makes Una feel like, "Oh no, I'm such a mess, I'm sorry." But when she talks, she hears about how she hears from Sato about how she makes mistakes too, and it kind of reassures her, and she feels a bit more comforted to be around her.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, and it slowly helps build up a bit of Uno's confidence, and made her a bit happier to find solace in Sato. And then just learning about her and opening up a bit more. I recommend it. It's now has its own volume in the States, so I recommend giving it a read. It's really good, and I'm compelled by its premise and direction.
I've got a friend who really likes this one. She prefers Office Lady Yuri, and she really likes this one. She told me about it, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet.
Was it Elena?
It wasn't Elena, it was someone else. But if Elena likes it as well, then that's how you know it's good.
Yeah. Especially in themes of food and love. I see we have another food theme subject on the docket.
That's right. There was a very important birthday recently.
We like to say happy belated birthday to Ioi from Kira Precure Alamo,
Yes.
or also known as Kira Gelato.
But you're also a big fan of Aoi and Himari together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I do love Akira Yukari, like kin for me and Ryan. Kind of the same. I put Ryan in the microwave, but yeah, those two are like really cute. I just saw them like, aw. I guess because you're like they might be the underappreciated pairing.
Yeah. I love their episodes together. They're really good.
They're so sweet together. They just get each other. Especially in their like dual episode, it's just beautiful and like dramatic.
I think that Aoi and Himari are very cute together. I think that they make a good opposites attract pairing. I think that's always really cute. The shy brainy girl and the loud rocker girl together. That's just sweet.
It's also very interesting because like despite being the opposite that attracts, they never did anything to like overwhelm each other. They kind of just clicked. Like nothing made them like wary of each other. It's just like, oh, Himari's like, wow, you're so cool. I was like, wow, Himari, you're so smart. And they just clicked.
Yeah, they respect each other. It's cute.
Yeah, they just get each other. Oh, remember in the manga where they had a chapter together?
I don't remember. Which one was that?
In this chapter, it was like Valentine's Day, so like Himari said, we should make a chocolate that works like a bit of like love potion kind of thing. So what happens is just like they're all together thinking, oh, who would you think this work on? And it's like, it can't be Himari, she doesn't really care for love. And then Himari falls into the chocolate. Ioi pulls her out and they have her change, and she's just wearing her Ioi jacket, and I was like, oh, you know, you look good in it. And Himari's like, oh yes, I do, huh?
I don't remember this.
How can you not?
I have the books. I got the print copies when they first came out.
Really?
I remember the Akira and Yukari chapter. I don't remember this one.
How can you not? This is like a very cute chapter. I also love that chapter where they just like dress masculine.
They've got to pay their respects to Akira.
Of course. And like how Akira said like, oh yeah, this is completely normal for me. I wouldn't call it dressing up or anything. It's just her normal outfit.
We love Precure a la mode here for obvious reasons.
Yeah, you know, like those two fruits. I mean, they literally call them fruits in the show. It's like, oh yeah, we base these fruit starts off Akira Yukari.
Which is like, hey, but they are correct.
Yeah, I don't think they were arguing. It's like, huh. I think Yukari would be complimented and Akira will be confused and make a dumb dog face.
Akira probably doesn't even know what that means.
Being called a fruit?
Yeah.
God, Yukari would call her like 500 different kind of words and Akira would not understand it. I bet Yukari could call her, you know, you're a beautiful, wonderful butch, right? And Akira's like, what does butch mean?
I love this vision for her.
Yeah. The thing is, Akira's always been just a dumb dog.
Well, you can say that about her, but in the end, she's the one earning all that doctor money, so Yukari can go travel Europe.
That's true. But yeah, you know, I appreciate Kira a lot.
Yes.
This is a season that made, like, the twins go hard on the Yuri.
Exactly.
Like, the chapter with, like, the villain they made for it.
That one's so funny.
That is so funny. That's kind of like, it just went ham. It's like this villain like wanted someone to love and just takes Akira.
The a la mode manga was just peak.
Yeah.
The Kamikitas putting the girls in situations.
Oh, absolutely. And to this day, they're trying their best.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us today for our special food-focused episode.
Thank you so much for joining. We hope the next time we see Otona Precure news, it'd be actually good news.
That'd be good.
At least let us see the Among Us twins.
Please, let us see the Among Us twins. We want some good news.
They work so hard. You can't just keep doing Splash Start dirty like that. They deserve better.
Well, until we see the Among Us twins, see you next Yuri.
See you next Yuri. Bye-bye.